Hey y'all, and welcome to the Crazy Sock Lady YouTube channel. My name is Kayla, and this is my channel where I share all about my making adventures. Today I have quite a lot of knitting for you, so I hope that you are ready. It is definitely going to be a full episode. I may have went cast on crazy yesterday, which I have not done in so long, and I don't know what came over me yesterday, and I cast on all the things. So I've got quite a lot to share with you. Not a lot done. Well, I mean, there's like a decent amount done on some of them, but all fairly new cast-ons for quite a few of them. But today is February 20th. It is Thursday. It is, what time is it? 8:24 a.m. This is episode 266. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as The Crazy Sock Lady, and I will have links right down below this video for everywhere that you can find me. I am the most active over on Instagram. I try to share daily in my stories what I'm up to, just in life in general, what I'm working on, all of that. So you can find all those links down below, as well as any shops that I talk about. I will link. I have my Amazon storefront linked, which I have like needles, notions, random things people have asked me for the links for. All that stuff's right there on the Amazon storefront. What else? Project pages, Ravelry project pages are linked there for you as well. It has all the details for everything that I am working on. Patterns are linked there, all of that. So I have one finished object, but I don't have it here to show you because I've already gifted it. It was for Wyatt, and I just gave them to him as soon as they were done. But I do have a picture, so I will share that. But yeah, I hope you've got something to sip on, something to work on, a little snack maybe. I'm having some coffee still. So cheers, and let's get started. You might hear it in my voice a little bit still. I don't really, maybe. We've had the sickness going through the house. Two of them, it seems like. A head cold and like a flu type virus, not exactly sure. Yeah, it's been making the rounds. I am feeling so much better today I had just a head cold, and I'm feeling so much better. Hoping that I don't catch the virus next. Everybody is actually like feeling better today at all of their places, up out of bed and moving. So it is a good day here in the Litton house for that. But yeah, you might still be able to hear a little bit that I've had a little bit of a cold, but I'm feeling much better. So finished object, a finished pair of socks for Wyatt. This was Barnyard Knits yarn. Frosty Air colorway. And this is pair, I will put a picture up here. This is pair 12 for 2025. And I started them on February 4th and finished them on February 13th. For these I did just my vanilla socks on 9-inch circular pattern. I did do a knit 2 purl 2 ribbing for the cuff for 25 rounds, 80 rounds for the leg. That is why it's like we found the perfect length finally. That's what he likes. 25 rounds cuff, 80 rounds leg. So that is what I did for those. Loved the yarn, loved how they worked up, and he's very happy with them. That's the only thing I finished, but I have been working on quite a bit. So there for a little bit, just with being sick, the kids being sick, we had company in town. Also, I was only working on a pair of socks and the scarf, and I'll show you both of those in a moment. That was like all that was getting worked on, and then I had in my mind, I was like, you're going to finish this scarf before you start anything else. And then I started all the things. So as soon as I thought that, it's like that went out the window, and let's just start everything. I'll show you these socks first because they're sitting right here, and the bag is open still from where I was working on them on the treadmill this morning. These are another pair of socks for my son Wyatt. This one, the toe is ready to be Kitchenered. I did the last little bit of the foot. I think I had like 5 rounds left, and the toe on the treadmill this morning. So this yarn is Regia Design Line by Arnie and Carlos. The color is 03762. And I just need to Kitchener the toe on that one, and then I will finish the foot and the toe on this one. So you can see this one's on magic loop. I do my toes on magic loop, but This one's on 9-inch. I did do the rest of the sock on 9-inch circulars, and then I switched to the toe for the toe I switched to magic loop. Words. This is 64 stitches. Knit 2 purl 2 ribbing for the cuff for 25 rounds, 80 rounds for the leg. I have all of my markers over on this side. I do count my rounds and keep track with those markers. It makes it so much easier. It's a game changer if you've not tried it. I do have a video under my tutorial playlist that shows how and why I do that. It was a game changer to start doing that for my socks. I don't think there's anything else about these. I think that's all I've got. I do have those in a bag from Stolen Minutes. I'm not even going to put those back in there because I am going to finish that toe off, Kitchener that, and work on the second one while I edit this video probably. I've also still been working on the scarf. This is in a bag from Bags by Awesome Granny. And this is using 3 by the Sea Designs Night Divine Minis set. And I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minis pretty much. I'm on this one here, and then I have 5 more after that, right? Yes. So I just cast on 100 stitches. I'm knitting the scarf in the round on 16-inch circulars, US 4, 3.5 millimeter, right? Is that what I'm doing this on? Yes. And I've just been knitting. I do 23 rounds per color. When I got to this was the last mini, and I did double. So 46 rounds of that as like the center point on the scarf, and now I'm just continuing back down. I had originally intended for this to be for me, but as I've been knitting it, I just keep thinking of my oldest niece, so I think this is going to be for her. It just screams her, and I think she will love it. So I may set it aside for next year. By the time I get it done, I feel like we're going to be, everyone's thinking of spring and who wants a scarf. So I think I might set it aside for next year and give it to her. Her birthday's in the fall, so I think that would be a good birthday gift. And that'll be one thing that's done ahead of time, so that'll be nice. But yes, just going along, weaving in my ends as I go. I have a tutorial for that as well, how I weave in my ends. Not weaving them in as I knit. I guess when I say that, that sounds kind of like I am. But I'm just, when I finish a few rounds of a color, like when I sit down later and do some knitting on it, I will weave in the ends right here from where I switched colors. So just once I get like 6 rounds into the new mini, I weave in the ends from where I changed colors. I don't think there's anything else to say about this one. I'm not planning to do anything with the ends. I love how it's just rolling. This is so easy and mindless, and it's making me so happy. As you can tell, I've been working on this a lot. It is kind of slow going because I am still holding the yarn with my right hand, which is not my normal, and then throwing the yarn. Normally I hold it with my left hand, so I'm much faster when I do it that way. But it's just been so enjoyable to just slow down and work on this. Every stitch feels just so much more intentional, I guess. And I've just thoroughly enjoyed this project. I did start yesterday, one of the many things that I cast on was a pair of socks using leftovers from that scarf. So now, well, I have one other project that I think I showed last time. Yes, I showed them as a whip last time. I don't know that I've even touched them, but I will show them in just a bit. But other than that, I have 4 projects left to show you. 3 of these were cast on yesterday. Oh, I grabbed the wrong bag. There we go. So this is in a bag from Barley Pearls. And I am using up my leftovers. So the scarf, once I've went down that second side and added the mini in for the second time, I still have a little bit left. This is about what I have left. Let's see how much that is. Have my little scale here. I love this little thing. It has a little tray, so if you do have like it wound into a ball and you're afraid it's gonna roll off, this is like perfect. I'm pretty sure I have this one linked. It's an AccuWeight scale, max 1,000 grams. It's great. I'll make sure it's linked on the Amazon storefront, and that's always linked down below. But let's see how much I have left. 4.5 grams is what I have left of that. That's craziness. The yarn goes so far. It's wild. So yes, once I add it in for the second time, I'm putting my leftovers in this bag, and I started a pair of socks. I also had the gold colorway from 3 by the Sea Designs. They sent me the mini set, and they also sent me gold. And I'm going to use that for cuff, heel, and toe. So here is what I have so far for both of these. And I added in the first mini. I did 5 rounds. So for this, I'm just following my vanilla socks on 9-inch circular pattern. I did do a knit to purl to ribbing for the cuff. I did 25 rounds, and then I did 5 rounds of the first color. I still have a little bit left. I just like the look of 5 round stripes. I don't know why. Let's see what I have left after I did 5 rounds on each sock. It says I have 2.2 grams, so I should be able to get 5 more rounds on each sock, I would think, out of that. We'll see. If not, I'm not worried. What I do when I have just like this little bit left is I will take the yarn from the outside and the inside, start it on both socks, and just go as far as I can get with that little bit. Like do a round on one sock, do a round on the other sock. And I'm pulling from the inside and outside of the leftover while I do that. That's what I do when I do scrappy socks and I have just tiny little bits left. It just makes sure that I can use up as much yarn on both socks as I can if you're trying to get them to match. If you're not, you know, you don't have to go to that that length to do that, but that's just what I like to do when I have a tiny little bit left like that and I'm trying to do matching socks. So this is a new cast on. I'm so excited about these. I can't wait to see how they look. If the minis do not finish, I'm going to do them on the leg and the foot. The cuff, heel, and toe will be in the gold. If I don't have enough to finish off the foot striping the minis down, I think I will, but if for some reason I don't, I'll just finish it in the gold for both of them. Not a big deal. Very excited to have this started. That has been like in the back of my mind that I want to work on that, and yeah, I'm just very glad to have those going, and it makes me want to do that with some of my row 1 minis. I've talked about how I needed to figure out something to do with my row 1 minis. Wasn't sure what to do with them. I have them back here. It kind of makes me just want to do some like scrappy, stripy tube scarves just like this. Use them up, then any leftovers I have, make some scrappy socks. And yeah, I don't know, it kind of makes me want to do that. I will say if I do that, I will be holding the yarn in my left hand probably because that scarf is taking a while. I've enjoyed every stitch. I love that it feels more intentional, but it has been on my needles for longer than I like my projects, other than my scrappy blankets, because you know those don't have a timeline. Then I like my projects to be on my needles, so I will probably just knit them normal continental style unless I get the itch to practice the other way again, because it is nice to switch it up. It's probably really good for your hands to switch it up like that. I don't know. All right, are you ready to see more socks? Because that's all there is. I'm sure you're so surprised by the fact that it's all socks. All right, let's show this. This is a pair that I have had cast on. I showed them last week. They are probably at the same exact spot because I don't think I've touched them since before I recorded last week. So these are in a bag from Daisy Girl and Company. And they are the Valentine's socks. I'm using Barnyard Knits Valentine's mini set. loving them. I just have not picked them up to work on them. I probably should have instead of starting 3 new projects yesterday, but the heart wants what the heart wants. So yeah, pretty sure this is the same exact spot that these were at. I had some questions last week about how I start and stop colors. I don't do anything special. I really just, if I'm doing them like this, I always do it at the beginning of the round. I drop the old color, pick up the new color, and knit. I have, and I mentioned earlier, the tutorial for how I weave in my ends, and I can't remember exactly, but I know I'm showing that on a pair of scrappy socks, so I may show a little bit of that there. And I'll make sure that's linked down below. Let me make a note of that. It is on the tutorial playlist, but I will make sure there's like a whole separate link for it down below if you want to check that out. So I pretty much have a lot of sock knitting to do. Those are just my vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars pattern, changing colors every 5 rounds. On the cuff, I did change, I don't think I mentioned this last week, and I should have. So for the cuff, I did knit 2 purl 2 ribbing, but when I changed colors, I did 1 plain knit round. And I show how to do that on my pop of color tutorial. A lot of tutorial talk today, I guess. But I show how to do that on my pop of color tutorial. It really is just for the first round of the new color, you just do knitting around and then you start doing ribbing. And it just gives you such a nice crisp color change within the ribbing. You don't have the purl bumps having like separate colors up in them and being pulled in. It's just a nice crisp color change. I love doing that, using that trick when I do color changes in ribbing. Been cleaning up after myself. 2 more sock projects. This one is the March woolen yarn box from Woolen Women Fibers, and I showed this a couple of episodes ago. I showed you everything that came in the box. The colorway, the yarn for the box is Denim and Daisies. I was so excited to finally get this cast on. It had been sitting ready, I just hadn't started it yet. Here's the project bag that came in the box. And these, the boxes are open for pre-order. What's the date today? The 20th? Yes, a couple more days. February 23rd is when it closes for pre-orders for this March box. So you still have a few more days. Head over, check out, see if they're still available. But pre-orders are open until then for this one. So I've just started these. I think I did like 5 rounds on each one. I have the one that is a sock set, so I have a mini with it. There's the yarn in the mini. And, oh, that's all we've got so far. Not much at all. So for these, I cast on 56 stitches. Normally I do 64. But I've noticed with this base, is it an 80-20? Yes, it's an 80-20 superwash merino nylon. It is a little bit plumper, and I still typically don't change my cast on size. Like, I just always do 64 stitches. But I've noticed with the few pairs that I have of these that they still fit good, but they don't fit as snug as I would like them to be. I think going down to 56 might have been a bit too much. I maybe should have done 60, but I'm going to try it and see if it doesn't, if it's a little too snug for me, I will gift them. But hand knit socks do stretch out with wear, so we'll see. I'm not sure. It might be good, it might not. We'll see how it goes. I'll update you when they're done, I guess, and see if they fit. If they're too tight, then I'll know maybe with the next pair I need to do 60. But these I'm just doing vanilla socks, 9-inch circulars. I will do the mini for probably the heel, maybe the toe as well. Knit 2 purl 2 ribbing, I'll probably do 25 rounds of knit 2 purl 2 ribbing. And these will be for me as long as they fit. I thought maybe I would do them for Wyatt, but I love them so much. I love that yarn. So I think those are going to be for me. If they don't fit me, I'll just gift them to someone else. It will be okay. The last thing that I cast on yesterday, I finally got my February Yarnable cast on. Again, this is one that had been sitting here ready for me to cast on. I just had not had a chance. I feel like it has been a wild month. Such a wild month. Life. But finally got them cast on. So excited. This is in a bag from Midwest Stitches. And the yarn is called Cupid's Bow. I always get with Yarnable, oh, I should say for the Woolen Woman fibers, I will have a link down below for them. That'll take you directly to the pre-order for that March box so that you can see if it is open. But this one, Yarnable, this is another yarn subscription service, just like the Woolen Woman fibers one. This one, I always get the plush sock base, which is an 85/15 superwash merino nylon. I always get one skein because I always do socks, usually. I shouldn't say always, usually. I've done some other things, some hats, but usually it's socks. Cupid's Bow is the name of this month's. And when I checked yesterday, they were still open to new subscribers. So I recently switched mine to the no frills option, which means you just get the yarn. I know so many of you have really wanted that option over the years, and I was so excited when they did that, because I know so many of you have wanted it, and because I was kind of like, I love the yarn, I want to keep getting the yarn, but I was feeling overwhelmed with some of the extras, even though I loved them so much. That stuff just can kind of pile up and I can become overwhelmed with it. So yeah, I was so excited when they started doing the no frills. I switched mine. This was my first month with the no frills, so I just got the yarn for February. So yeah, they were open to new subscribers yesterday. I shared that in my Instagram. Not sure if they will still be open when this goes up on Friday, but I will have them linked down below if you want to check. And they do still have their other options. You can choose different yarns. You can choose to get all the extras or the no frills. So yeah, all those options are still available as long as the spots are open for them. What else? Link will be down below. There is a coupon code also. Sock Lady will get you $5 off of your first month of Yarnable. So head over, check it out if you've been wanting to. The February one is very pretty and perfect for February. And I am doing a patterned sock. Who am I? It has been a while. But I am doing my Mahogany Run socks. It's definitely been a while since I've done this one. I wore the pair. I have one pair, I think. I only have one pair in this pattern. And I wore those and I was like, why don't you knit more of this pattern? This pattern was so fun to create the pattern. And it's such a good fitting sock because it does have just a little bit of ribbing. It has a little bit of lace. It's just an all around great pattern. So here it is. I don't have much done yet, so there's not a whole lot to see, but there is some ribbing and then there's a little bit of lace, a little bit of eyelets really is all it is, but within your ribbing. I have both of them started, but only the patterning, one repeat on that sock. So I'm just following the pattern exactly for this. So I've done the ribbing 20 rounds. For the size I did, it ended up just being a knit 2 purl 2 ribbing. And yeah, I think that's really all to say about this. One pattern repeat is done on that and a few extra rounds of the next pattern repeat, but really enjoyed. I forgot how much I love that pattern. I came out with that one ages ago. And I don't know, I don't go back and knit my patterns very often, which is so silly because I love so many of them and I should knit them more often. But yeah, that one's a super fun one. Is that all the knitting? I think that is. So I am hoping to finish off Wyatt's socks. I'll definitely have the one sock done today, so maybe those will be done tomorrow. And then my Wool and Women Fibers Denim and Daisies will be the next pair of socks that just go into the vanilla sock knitting time of when I do my Bible reading, when I walk on the treadmill. Those will go into that spot. And we'll see what else I have done by next week. I would love to have that scarf done. Love to have it done. And maybe have another one started with the Row 1 minis. I just feel like that's what my brain needs right now, is another stripey scarf like that. It's such a mindless project. It's been so enjoyable. It's so good for just shutting my brain down. All I have to do is count the rows, the rounds, and then change that color. So it's been such a great project to work on in the evenings when we sit down and watch TV. I have not touched my scrappy blankets. Those were my project that I was working on for my 30 minutes of knitting. That is a make along that we're doing in the Crazy Sock Lady YouTube memberships. And I have not, the scarf has kind of become that. I think I just kind of switched over and I've only been working on the scarf for that. My scrappy blankets, I actually put the bags back here because they were sitting up on my couch and I just have not worked on them. So I thought they're just kind of in the way and I'm not touching them. So let's just move them downstairs until that itch, you know, I get that itch again, and then I will pull them out and work on them, which I'm sure that will happen. But yeah, you just gotta go with what you feel like working on. That's how I am anyways. I don't push anything or make that any kind of pressure. It's just what I feel like working on. And that's what that knit along is. It's just a easy going work on what you want to work on for 30 minutes a day. Great motivation. All right, I don't really have anything else because I don't have any mail. I've showed you everything I've been working on. All of my cast-ons from yesterday. I still can't believe I cast on 3 new pairs of socks yesterday. So I should probably get to knitting today. That's probably what I should do. Let's do some knitting. But I've been reading and watching. I did write that down. Still reading the Edge of Clap series. I am on book 3. That's by Kyla Stone. And then watching, we finished the season of Dexter Original Sin. Loved it. Please tell me there's another one. Has anyone heard anything? Seen anything? I hope there's another season. I loved it so much. So if you're a fan of the original Dexter, highly recommend it. I had some people ask, should I watch the original, like the old original show? This new series is Dexter Original Sin. But yes, I think you should watch them in the order they came out. The original Dexter, Dexter New Blood, which don't get caught up on people hating that. Just watch it. You have to watch it because in Dexter Original Sin, it does start with clips from Dexter New Blood. So I recommend you watch them in that order. Not the timeline order, but the order they came out in. That's what I recommend. Everyone might think differently on that, but that's just my recommendation. So anyways, we finished that. I loved it. We also finished Apple Cider Vinegar. We finished that last night. Such a wild story and such a sad story. So I do recommend that one. We had just started watching it last time, but I do recommend it. It was so good. It's based on a true story. Yeah, there's some documentaries coming out about it that I am excited to watch to see because, you know, they always kind of change some things, make some things more dramatic maybe with those shows when they make them into the mini series and things. So yeah, I'm excited to watch like an actual documentary about it. See maybe how closely that followed the story. But it was good, but it was sad. We haven't watched Tracker, I think, in like a week. That's just something we kind of turn on if there's no new episodes. It seems like of anything else. And then we've been watching Celebrity Bear Hunt. Why? I don't know. Last night, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, what is the point of this show? I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It's a reality TV show, competition style TV show in a way. yeah, I don't even know how to explain it, but that's the only other thing we've been watching. I did get caught up on Outdaughtered. That's kind of I watch TLC shows when I'm home alone, or like Eric's out of the house and the boys are busy upstairs in their rooms or whatever. That's my evening watching. If I'm the one in charge of the TV, I watch TLC shows. So yeah, I got caught up on Outdaughtered. I don't know what I'm going to watch next now, because I will be able to watch some stuff this evening. I don't know. But I think that's all I've got. I'm just rambling at this point. But I hope that y'all are doing well, and I will be back here next week. But until then, happy making, and God bless you. Bye.